to solve for x in basic equations. So this is going to be the very basics. This is probably pre-GCSE level, but it's also going to be very fundamental if you are taking your GCSEs. First, important things to remember. You always have to do the same thing for both sides of the equation. So say you have x minus 3 equals 7, you have to add 3 to both sides of the equation. So you get x equals 10. You don't want to be adding 3 to one side of the equation and not the other, or adding 2 to one side and 4 to the other. It doesn't work like that. You've got to do the exact same for both sides, and as long as you do that, you should be okay. Secondly, this is more of a method thing, but remember the story of x. So when you look at the equation, think what is happening to the x, and to solve for x, you reverse it. So say it's x plus 3 again. What you would do is take away 3 from both sides. The story of x is that it's getting 3 added to it. The reverse of that is getting 3 taken away from it. You do that to both sides of the equation, remember. With that, let's get on to some examples. Okay, so we're going to start off with a very basic one. We're going to start off with x plus 7 is equal to 12. So what we do here, we have to get x on its own. That's what it means by solving for x, getting a value. And to do that, we have to get x on its own. So what do? Well, the 7 is the problem here. We have to get rid of that 7 somehow. To do that, we subtract. Because the story of x, remember, is that 7 is being added to the x. Reverse that is minus 7. If you want to do this in your exams, this thing we're doing here, do that, because it reminds you to do the same thing on both sides, which is absolutely crucial to solving any equation. So there you go, x equals 5. That is the most basic form of solving equations you will ever see. If you understand that, it puts you in a very good place to go on and understand further, more complex equations. Okay, but what would you do if you had a coefficient of x? So let's say you have 3x equals 12. Once again, you've got to think about the story of x. What is happening to x? It's being times by 3. What's the opposite of times? Divide. So here, instead of adding or subtracting something, you very simply divide both sides by 3 to get x equals 4. That is another bit of basics, but it's also crucial in furthering your understanding and how to do more complex equations. The final example I'm going to go through in this video will combine both of what we've just done. It's going to be a little bit more complex, but in terms of solving for x, until you get to GCSE level, this is as hard as it's going to get. We're going to do 2x plus 12 equals, let's go for 20. Once again, you've got to think what is happening to x, a story of x. Now, the story of x, whilst many of you may not remember it for your exams, if you can't think of anything else, any other method, story of x is perfect. So what's happening to the x in here? Well, it's being times by 2 and then added by 12. Now you've got to reverse this. You've got to make the opposite of this. What is the opposite of this? Well, it's subtracting 12 and then dividing by 2. So that's exactly what you do. 2x plus 12 equals 20. You subtract 12 to get 2x equals 8, and then you divide by 2 to get x equals 4. Now certainly before GCSE level, especially early Key Stage 3 level, that is as hard as it's going to get. Until you start dealing with when you have to square numbers or square root numbers, that is as hard as it's going to get, and I'm going to go through how to do that in later videos. But if you understand how to do that, there is no reason why you can't absolutely smash any solve the equation videos, questions even. Thank you very much for watching. I hope that's been helpful. And I'll see you in the next video.